I did one for Brawly, so now I'm doing one for another one of my favorite anime characters, Itachi. Put him to sleep Uchiha. Even though I have other videos that mention him, he deserves his flowers in a solo video. And you're not tired of hearing about the coolest Uchiha? That's right, I got him above Madara as the coolest Uchiha.
Big whoop, wanna fight about it?
Otherwise, you wouldn't even be hearing the words I'm saying right now. Now let's get into why Itachi is colder, better than you remember. Up until Itachi made his on-screen debut in Naruto, Kakashi to me was the standard for being the guy, the coolest ninja and character in the show. But then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Itachi made his debut and immediately took center stage. Mind you, he made his debut with Kisame, a literal killer shark on 2 legs with a sentient chakra-eating sword. But all eyes fell on Itachi. And then we get the showdown that would forever change the trajectory of this ninja world. Yeah, I'm adding a little spice to it, make it more entertaining. But the same Kakashi that had been to war with Zabuza trained Sasuke through the treacherous Chunin exams, establishing himself as the top sensei, the famous copy ninja, Kakashi of the Sharingan. And then he ran into a real one. Everyone else saw that Sharingan and was in awe. Itachi saw that Sharingan and was like,
prepare for a pride obliterating bitch slap.
And in just over a few seconds managed to outsmart, outplay, overpower, and hospitalize Kakashi with minimal effort, kicking him off the coolest character throne and taking it for himself. However, for some reason, people see him and Kisame leaving when Guy shows up like, yeah, he didn't want that smoke with Guy, he was running away. And when Jiraiya showed up and they dipped, thinking Itachi was ducking these fights because he was afraid of them? Are we just forgetting that this man was undercover, keeping an eye on Sasuke and not really there to attack the village?
I'm warning you two. You don't want to interfere with me. It isn't my desire to kill you.
Y'all do know he could have ended Kakashi right then and there, right? And I find it funny that some people be like, God knew how to fight the Sharingan. He would not look at his eyes and look at his feet. Looking at his feet is not gonna save you. This is the same man that pointed at Naruto and Kakashi, who were avoiding looking at his eyes and was still caught in a Genjutsu while fighting a clone that had like 30% of Itachi's power in it. This is the same dude who put a Dragon Sage Kabuto, who blinded himself in a Genjutsu, made him change his entire life. He turned Kabuto into a born-again Christian, got him running an adoptive home and all kinds of shit. Looking at his feet, you gotta be kidding me. Or how about the fact that if you have ever even made eye contact with this man before, there is a chance that he already implanted a suggestion into your psyche that'll activate when certain conditions are met, i.e. you try to fuck with him. And if you need a visual representation of what that means, remember when these Anbu members were sent to take care of Itachi and they had that same philosophy of, oh, we're just not gonna look at your eyes, and they thought they tagged him, but they ended up falling victim to a Genjutsu anyway? And Itachi said, yeah, when I first saw y'all, I planted a suggestion in your brain in case y'all ever try to fuck with me, just to teach y'all that you can't fuck with me. And y'all think looking at his feet was gonna work. He had contingency jutsus. That man would have had Guy out there kicking trees with 8 gates open, watching his body turn to dust. Y'all know Hashirama? The one they call the God of Shinobi? The mythological being himself. The only person Madara said could dance with him, the most overpowered ninja whose cells alone allowed people to reach the realm of godhood. Out of the mouth of the ninja god himself, praise That's right, praise, spitting on the mic with it, was rained down upon Itachi. And I believe this was intentional, to have Hashirama be the one to be like, yes, Itachi was that good. And I seen some folks thinking that Jiraiya, pervy sage, was gonna be able to beat Itachi, even though, again, he was not there to attack anyone or really fight. But for some reason, people see him and Kisame leaving and escaping as like, oh yeah, Jiraiya would have soloed both Kisame and Itachi.
Ho, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Here's my 2 cents. Of the legendary Sannin, it's always debated as to who would win between Jiraiya and Orochimaru, right? Regardless of who you believe would win, they are relative in power and abilities, meaning this is a hard-fought battle for either side. Now take that same Orochimaru, pit him against the teenage ninja cancer-suffering Itachi, and...
Not sure what to do with you. Whether to kill you right now or find a way to use you.
Itachi, just hold on.
Without hesitation, he was like, Jesus, please help.
Even Orochimaru couldn't believe it. Itachi could have walked into that meeting with snakeskin Akatsuki robe, and that was light work. And Orochimaru was the one who tried to sneak him. Made that man quit the Akatsuki and go after the little brother because he couldn't handle the big brother. And then even better, Itachi gave Orochimaru his second loss while actively dying and going blind after a grueling fight with Sasuke.
This is it. This is what I've been waiting for. Thanks to you, the repressive child.
Shut up! What is that? It's me getting beat up again!
And again, he couldn't believe it. And this just shows that if Itachi wants you gone, you're out of there. He's going to make it happen. Looking at his feet.
Itachi, just hold on.
That's 2 times he made light work of a relative competitor to Jiraiya. So you can see where I'm leaning here if you catch me. Even when Jiraiya showed up and thought he had Itachi and Kisame trapped in that toad belly, and Itachi immediately broke out with the Matarasu, Jiraiya was like, what the fuck? I heavily believe there are way more scenarios and win conditions for Itachi over Jiraiya without needing to create any headcanon, because we have literally seen what Itachi can do and would do in these situations. He putting those big ass toad summons on the Amaterasu grill and putting hands and sealing blades on Jiraiya. Y'all remember when a handicapped Orochimaru was fighting Tsunade and Jiraiya? That little showdown with Kabuto and Naruto? The 3-way deadlock with the legendary Sannin?
Itachi, just hold on.
Yeah, you can argue that Jiraiya was handicapped too because he was drugged. Everyone in that fight was handicapped. But together, they could not even stop Orochimaru. Now, Tsunade was putting the beats on him towards the end. She was beating his ass. Oh my goodness, she was whooping his ass.
Jesus!
Why don't I feel like I'm getting anywhere?
Teach a man how to squabble.
But again, Itachi handled a fully healthy 100% Orochimaru who tried to sneak him in seconds while being sick.
Just hold on.
And what a lot of people forget is that all these battle debates that Itachi is put in is including the fact that he's suffering from that fatal ninja sickness, which actively puts him at a disadvantage, along with the fact that Itachi never even had EMS, the internal Mangekyo. He was doing everything with his regular day 1 Sharingan. Imagine if he took his father's eyes and wasn't sick, because we seen what a non-sick Itachi was capable of. Fast forward to the Great Ninja War when he was resurrected with Nagato. They called them the strongest pair because realistically the result of the war heavily depended on them. When that tag match with Naruto and B versus Nagato and Itachi happened at SummerSlam, Itachi was casually throwing hands with Kurama Chakra Mode Naruto, they call it KCM, who at this time is leagues stronger than Jiraiya. And at one point in the fight, Itachi releases himself from the Ito Tensei control, using Shisui's eyes. And at one point, Nagato got Naruto and B hemmed up and was about to end the show. They were about to die here. Nagato had Naruto's soul ready for consumption, pause, and B was staring down the barrel of a damn laser cannon. Naruto was not about to win that tug-of-war stamina battle with an Ito Tensei puppet. And if Naruto loses here, we all know the war is over. Yet in spectacular fashion, Itachi saves them. Twice. He told them how to destroy the Chubaku Tensei and immediately you see how short that fight was? That's what I mean by seeing what Itachi would do in these situations if he really want to get you out of there. And he went from taking out Nagato to another showdown with quote-unquote Dragon Sage Kabuto. Every jutsu has a weakness. That was his philosophy. And if you can't think of a witness,
What did you say?
damn.
A witness. Witnesses.
And if you can't think of a weakness, then guess what? Itachi is the weakness. And at this point, Kabuto is 98% of this war. Remember, they are technically only fighting Obito and Kabuto. Everyone else are Ito puppets summoned by Kabuto along with the Ten Tails, and of course until Madara resurrected himself. But you get the gist. And with this newly obtained sage form, Kabuto is strong as shit right now. And Itachi walked him down, told him what he was gonna do, and did it. And as I mentioned earlier, Kabuto was so worried about falling under any Genjutsu that he blinded himself to avoid seeing Itachi's eyes, and still got caught lacking. He took every precaution and was cursing Itachi out once he found out he was stuck in a loop. He thought he was perfect and had everything figured out and calculated. Kabuto was never the same after that. He literally changed that man's life with that fight. He went from a major villain to a found God against savior. He went from attacking Sasuke to giving him CPR on the battlefield. He ran an orphanage after this. Itachi stopping the jutsu saved the war for the Shinobi Alliance. Even Madara was like, y'all got somebody talented over there on y'all side. And if Madara wasn't a walking cheat code, the war would have ended here. The funny thing though about Itachi's reanimation is that he wasn't given any boosts like the others. Madara had the Hashirama cells and was brought back basically to his prime. Even though, as Madara puts it,
Do not misunderstand it. This is not power of your creation.
Nagato was able to use every 6 paths Rinnegan ability with one body with no wear and tear. But for Itachi, he just wasn't sick anymore. They gave my man some orange juice and that was his boost, that vitamin C. And now you see that Itachi has a 100% completion rate with his missions. Everything he set out to do, he accomplished. He stopped the Uchiha coup, regardless of his methods. That was the ultimate end goal. He got himself branded as a traitor, infiltrated the Akatsuki and kept an eye on Sasuke, and allowed Sasuke to be the one to take him out and get his eyes. Sasuke not turning on the village was a little shaky, but he entrusted that to Naruto, and we seen how that played out. When he's resurrected, he used Shisui's eye to overwrite the Ito Tensei in order him to save the village, and just as we seen, he did just that. So yeah, he beats Jiraiya. I forgot that's where this rant started. Yeah, I think Itachi got answers for anybody really, but that's just me. I guess Itachi was the anomaly. They say you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Well, Itachi died a villain and came back to life intended as a villain, but ended up going out as a Ninja World's hero. We should have known way back when he fought Kakashi though, because remember whenever Kakashi showed up, people would be like, let me tell you about Kakashi the copy ninja. But when Itachi showed up, Kakashi was like, let me tell y'all about Itachi. And that's when he knew. He knew his time as the coolest ninja.
I knew that it was over.
A genuine Sharingan, the heir of the Uchiha bloodline is here. The one who shall shape the destiny of the entire Shinobi world. You fraud-eyed son of a bitch. Not really, I love Kakashi. But you sons of bitches, bow down to the new standard. Damn it, I'm getting lightheaded. There was a new sheriff in town, the true king of the cold throne, and his name is Itachi. Put him to sleep, Uchiha. Bro, this video literally started out from some bullet point notes while I was going to sleep. And next thing you know, I got a full-blown essay done. And to think I used to struggle with this shit in school. Itachi is my favorite Naruto character, but he's another character where everything about him has already been talked about and covered, but it's always fun to talk about. He was one of the coolest characters. Itachi was definitely the main villain at one point, especially in those earlier games. He would always be one of the strongest characters. It was one game on the PSP. I don't remember what it was called, but he had a move where he would like turn his back and a shadow clone would shoot out and catch you in his ultimate. The shit was broken. I actually voted for him to get the new one-shot story when they put out that poll of which character Kishimoto would write a new manga for that Minato ended up winning. I wanted another Itachi story. I don't give a damn if they had to start making some shit up. I feel like they could have made so much by creating what if stories, like what if Itachi unlocked EMS and got his father's eyes, or if Madara was actually made the Hokage, etc. I can yap about Naruto stuff all day, but that's enough for me. Now it's your turn. Who are some of your favorite characters in Naruto? Who did you vote for to get that new manga story? Do you actually believe Jiraiya could still win? You think looking at his feet would work? Let me know down in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Join the lounge and grab yourself a seat. Share with your friends or anyone who loves anime like us.
Tell your friends about me.
I appreciate you all for watching, and as we always do when we close out, let's all raise a glass in the air. Here's to anime.
Prepare for a pride-obliterating bitch slap.